Mr. Taliaferro TV. All right, as I talk to you, as I literally talk to you as I speak, the Cavs have just parted ways with GM David Griffin. That's a side note, but I came to you guys to talk about the updates on Jimmy Butler and Paul George. As of tonight, the Cavs, the Cleveland Cavaliers, are looking to work out a deal for Jimmy Butler in a three-team trade that would center around Kevin Love and Jimmy Butler. The Cavs would try to get Kevin Love to the Bulls and get some picks over Chicago's way with the third team. Or maybe the Bulls just want straight assets straight up and they don't look at Kevin Love as an asset. So you bring in a team like Phoenix who's willing to give up Eric Bledsoe and their number 4 pick. So it's a lot going on tonight. And with Paul George, the update is the Clippers have reached out to him for a trade. The update is Paul George still has told the Pacers, I guess it is the report that he's told them that he's wanting to get to the Lakers next year, or he intends to go to the Lakers next year. And Paul George has not told the Pacers that he would be willing to sign an extension with any other team. Remember, that is pivotal because Paul George, if he wants to, he can tell the Pacers, look, you can trade me wherever you want. I don't have a no trade clause. But the teams would want Paul George to give them either a verbal agreement or they'd rather him sign off on a long-term extension before they make that trade. For instance, the Cavs are going to trade Kevin Love at the bare minimum for Paul George. If that deal were to work out, the Cavs would want to know that Paul George is going to sign long-term because they just gave up one of the biggest assets in Kevin Love, or at least a verbal agreement. Remember, the Cavs traded for Kevin Love. They traded Wiggins for Kevin Love. That was a risk. Kevin Love, just like Paul George, had 1 year on the deal in Minnesota. So that was a risk for the Cleveland Cavaliers. If Kevin Love would have walked after they lost in the finals in 2015, they would have lost him for nothing. And they lost the number 1 pick in Wiggins, who's really good. So this is a risk to go after Paul George. I'm hearing that the Boston Celtics are possibly getting into the Jimmy Butler conversations. They've reached out to the Pacers as well for Paul George. A lot going on, but I tell you this, I believe Paul George gets traded in the next 48 hours. I don't believe we get to the draft with Paul George still an Indiana Pacer. That is my belief. I think he gets moved in the next couple days. Jimmy Butler, it looks like the Cavs are higher on Jimmy Butler. Maybe the Bulls have told the Cavs, or maybe they're willing to talk more than what the Pacers are willing to talk with Paul George. But if I'm the Pacers, you got to get rid of Paul George because he's not signing with you guys long term. If you're the Bulls, I would maybe want to give it another year or two with Jimmy Butler. You got him for a couple more years, but it looks like they're even thinking about moving Jimmy Butler for picks and the ability to restart. I think guys are looking at this draft and looking at some of these assets that are available. You're talking about a number 3 pick that's available that Boston has. It's going to be Josh Jackson if a team is interested in trading up for Josh Jackson. Or a De'Aaron Fox at 4 or 3. And then you got Malik Monk. So there's some assets available. So for teams like the Bulls who are going to lose a star in Jimmy Butler or a star for the Pacers in Paul George, this might be the time to move. This year's draft is going to be better than next year's draft. So this might be the time to move if you know these guys aren't signing long term or not committed to you the way you needed them committed. So the update is that the Cavs are pushing to get Jimmy Butler tonight. And they've talked to the Pacers about Paul George as well. But right now they're pushing for Jimmy Butler. And they just let their GM go in David Griffin, who's made 3 NBA finals in a row. A lot going on in the NBA world. Who do you want to see the Cleveland Cavaliers get? And who do you want to see the Los Angeles Lakers get? Talk to me in the comment box below. Thank you for the time, love, support. Don't take it for granted. What do you want to see these big names move to as well? The Pacers, what do you want them to do? What do you want the Bulls to do? Talk to me in the comment box below. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com. Again, that's booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com.